Hello and welcome to Wine Educate, a podcast where we explore WSET education, study tips, and practical advice for wine enthusiasts and professionals. This is episode 7, and it's very exciting because this is my first interview. And today we have with us Matt Ray. He is our WSET Spirits Educator. So I'm going to let Matt talk about himself and introduce himself. Welcome, Matt.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hi. What is your official title and where do you currently work?
My $10 title is USA Shopper Marketing On-Premise Industry Manager, and that is too long to fit on a business card. So whenever the people in the company ask me, what do I tell people you do? Usually I just say brand or company ambassador. I am a pinch hitter for the company. I work for the Sazerac company. Thank you for asking. We're the largest liquor maker on this side of the planet. We make 500 products, everything from Fireball to Blanton's to Pappy Van Winkle, with about 250 value brand vodkas sprinkled in between. Because in the spirits industry, vodka pays the bills. Do you have a product like that for wine that this pays the rent?
Yes, we certainly have wines in the shop that we order multiple cases of a week. Yeah.
Is it like Pinot Grigio? Do you say Pinot Grigio pays the rent?
You know, these days it's Sancerre.
Sancerre pays the rent. I've always said that.
Yeah.
So I do the cocktail research and development. Like, it's pretty common that the company will say, like, hey, we have this new product. What can we do with it? So they'll ship it to me, and I get to go to our kitchen downtown at Sazerac House, which is our cocktail museum, and I get to play around with it because I was a bartender before this.
Yeah, I was going to say, what different jobs and kind of career paths have led you to have this role now?
I niched myself into this job kind of meanderingly, if I'm being honest.
Honesty's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a barista and then a bartender. And then I started bartending at this really nice cocktail bar in New Orleans called Cure. They wanted James Beard for their cocktail program. And then I realized at one point that I was making far too much money bartending. So I was like, what can I do? So I went to go teach public school to really have a more modest income. And I loved the kids and literally nothing else about that job. And I think that's kind of the standard answer. And most teachers I talk to, especially retired ones, is like, oh yeah, the kids are great, but nothing else is.
Right.
So I came back to hospitality and worked for a hotel in town and ran all their bars and worked for the Cure company for a little bit longer. And when they were opening the Sazerac House, which is a cocktail museum that tells the story of New Orleans through the lens of the cocktail, they needed someone with a bartender background. So I said, great news. I was a bartender. And they're like, yeah, but we also need someone with a bar manager experience because you'll be running a team. It's like, great news. I was a bar manager. They're like, listen, I'm sorry, but this sounds crazy, but we also need someone with an education background. I was like, great news. I'm the only person in the entire city that meets those qualifications, because I don't know of any other bartender that left to go teach high school and then came back to the industry, or vice versa.
Yeah, you're a perfect fit.
I was the only fit. So they got me whether they think they wanted me or not. But I worked for Sazerac House for 5 years, and now I do national training for the company. But I still work out of the museum, which is lovely.
It is a beautiful museum.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And we are lucky enough to be able to teach the WSET classes at the Sazerac, which is gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming over all the time. Yeah, we have a nice little event space with like some luxuriously wide seating and spacing. And also we've got like a industrial dishwasher and lots of glassware and booze to taste, which is wonderful.
Yeah, all the things. And I'm very jealous of your automatic screen that just sort of rolls down magically.
Yeah, it's very high tech. It lives in the ceiling and then pops out whenever I hit a button. It's great.
That's great. So we're very happy to have you as our spirits educator. So when I was looking for a spirits educator, your name just continually came up. So of course you were the perfect fit for that.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I've had a great time. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and working with me and continuing to bring me back for all the spirits classes. They've just been a delight.
Yeah. And can I ask you also, don't you also do some stand-up comedy?
I used to do improv, and if anyone that's listening has a public speaking fear, it is the fastest, quickest way to get over it because they believe in just getting out there and trying over and over until you get it right. And everyone is very supportive and positive and kind. And it is a great way to get over stage jitters. And occasionally I will do comedy or open mic, but I don't have as much time to do that as I would like.
Yeah, you're a bit busy. You just came back from a 3-state trip or something?
I was in Wyoming last week we have a fancy set of whiskeys that Buffalo Trace makes, one of our distilleries called the Antique Collection. So I was doing a tasting out there at a liquor store. And then I was in Denver we call it market work when you go visit bars. So I'm delighted also that one of my market work things I had to do was go pour rye whiskey at a pinball club.
Great.
It was a delight, let me tell you.
Oh, that's fun. Well, yeah, you were on the road quite a bit with this job.
Yeah,
Yeah?
they promised me I would be traveling about half of my time, and so far they are very accurate.
Yeah.
But it's lovely. I mean, listen, talking to people is the best part of the job.
Yeah.
I think no one got into the wine business or spirits business to do spreadsheets and answer emails.
That is correct. Yes. All right. So clearly I'm a wine person. You are a spirits person. So I have some little industry trends kind of questions to ask you. Curious.
Oh yeah, hit me.
Yeah. So in the wine world, we have WSET, we have Quartermaster Somm. What are the different spirits certifications out there?
Oh geez. I mean, listen, just to kind of be completely honest, the Wine Spirits Education Trust, the WSET is the gold standard.
For spirits as well.
For spirits as well, yeah. I think the most rigorous training I've ever done, and listen, I'll be honest, I collect certifications for fun because I think I enjoy punishment.
Welcome to our world.
Mhm. But the level 3 spirits is the most rigorous training, and I think level 2 for spirits is the gold standard. But there's lots of companies that offer it. Society of Wine Educators has a CSS, Certified Spirit Specialist course.
Okay.
That is they specifically focus on TTB regulations and like definitions, and it's pretty solid. I think like they get the silver medal after WSET. And then there's Moonshine University. They do a bourbon certification called Stave and Thief. There's the Council of Whiskey Masters. It specializes in Scotch, but they branched off into bourbon recently as it's kind of taken the gold medal for whiskey sales worldwide. And let's see, there's Bar 5 and Bar Smart. It's run by Pernod Ricard, which is Bar 5 is a very rigorous bartender and cocktail and spirits training program. But those are the big ones. Yeah, I think that's most of them.
That's quite a few.
Yeah, and there's a few more that, gosh, if I think about it. Oh, the US Bartenders Guild had a certification for bartending for a while. And they also had a spirits specialist degree that you could get.
Great. That was way more than I thought you were going to say.
Oh yeah, it actually keeps going. That's just me trying to be concise.
Wow. Okay. But the WSET is the top, you say?
It's the best. And I think that the WSET is very clearly invested a lot of time, energy, and money into making sure that there is a group of qualified people not only writing the instructional material, but people that are educators and teaching it. But yeah, it's just like a very well put together organization. Big fan.
Could you tell people who are listening a little bit about what they can expect to learn in a level 1 class?
Level 1 is the what of spirits. So the idea is that you're learning about what is tequila, what is the definition, what is vodka versus what is bourbon. And you get some foundational vocabulary for how to talk about spirits with other spirits professionals. So I think a value that WSET is very good at is that they're very good at laying down the foundational words that we use to talk the same language. And I think that is what level 1 is. So foundational language, the what of spirits. So you can kind of like quickly and easily describe what is rum versus what is bourbon and tequila. So it is an all-purpose introductory course, very similar to, say, level 1 in Quartermaster Somms.
Okay.
1-day course, pretty quick, but after it, you'll be pretty dangerous, or at least like competent.
Yeah.
Level 2 is more about like the what and how. So you learn what it is, but then you learn, well, how do you make vodka? And then how do you make rum? How do you make bourbon? And they go into production. And you are learning foundational tasting vocabulary and technique. Because once you get higher than level two, starting in level two and working your way up, it's assumed that you're going to be a spirits professional probably for a while. And they want to give you the tools to analyze and assess the quality and styles of spirits. So we start talking about, great, this is a rum. And we don't really say this is a good or bad spirit. I think a misnomer in the spirits world is that when do I get to taste a bad spirit? And the reality is that today, with the production techniques and regulations, like very few companies release quote unquote bad liquors because there's just so many guardrails to prevent that. The reality is that it's what they're trying to do. So, like, I would not judge a Carlo Rossi jug of wine against a Bordeaux. They are both reds, but they're trying to do very different things.
Yes, indeed.
And their target audience is very different.
Right.
So it's not a good or bad wine. It's not a good or bad spirit. It is what were they trying to do and did they succeed?
Right. Yeah, that definitely tracks with the WSET wine and the philosophy with that as well. Don't have to take level 1 to take level 2, but why should people consider starting with level 1 perhaps?
You know what? In my experience, I did myself the sincere disservice of skipping ahead to level 3 immediately.
Oh, you did?
I did. And I don't recommend it.
No.
Again, I love a bad time. But skipping ahead to level 3 and diving headfirst into the deep end was aggressive. I wish I'd taken level 2. And had I started this journey maybe many years ago, I would have loved a level 1 class. Level 1 is just a wonderful entry level beginning to, I want an official, dependable definition of these spirits that I can say to anybody and I'll be correct. And I think that WSET kind of clears the air very well comparatively, especially when you're Googling in the internet about foundational vocabulary and language. So WSET level 1 made my students much more confident that they could jump straight into level 2 because they'd been introduced to the vocabulary, language, and kind of the ways of learning of WSET before the stakes got a little bit higher for level 2. Because level 2 is not inexpensive, but it is very valuable. And people, probably rightfully are a little more nervous to take a 3-week class, like basically 3 full days of teaching.
Right.
Spread over a few weeks in my case, and sometimes back to back, versus a 1-day all-inclusive exam.
Right. That being said, I find a lot of people are pretty hesitant to take an all-day spirits class because they're wondering if they're just going to get sloshed drinking spirits all day. Can you explain how that works in class?
Yeah, listen, number one, if you are concerned about getting drunk at a wine tasting, you don't have to swallow everything.
Thank you. Yes.
You don't have to drink everything that someone puts in front of you. You can drink water. You can just sniff it. I will say the difference between what we do and getting drunk is that I use the word we taste. We do not drink.
Right.
Drink is what I do to get through a family Christmas. Tasting is what I do to assess the quality of a spirit.
Thank you. Well put. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I need you to take a tiny sip. You swirl it around. And if you want to take a tiny swallow, you can. And when you're sipping little hummingbird sips all day, I would say that you feel good by the end of the class, but you can still drive home.
Right.
Under, most circumstances. But we also offer spit buckets, and you can just spit it right back out. Like the science is that there are some retronasal glands in the back of your sinuses that help you assess spirits after you swallow. So if you're sipping something very expensive or delicate, swallowing will give you the 100% full body experience of sensory evaluation. However, you can still get very, very close sipping, swirling in your mouth, and then just spitting out. You'll be fine.
Right. I remember you said something in class to the effect of, I wouldn't have the job I had today if I didn't know how to spit spirits out.
Yeah, I think that, and this is a reality for working anyone that works in spirits or bartending or especially corporate liquor world, is that we work with a recreational drug, and it is both incredible and wonderful and delicious and fun, but we are also judged very closely on how we have fun responsibly and how we consume alcohol, because it can very quickly become a problem. So if you are interested in having a career in spirits, they really pay close attention to, like, can you go to a work function and can you do your job and assess, can you do the work that we pay you to do and be responsible?
Yeah.
Because you're around. Listen, I love booze. It is so delicious and fun to talk about, and it's a joy in my life, but I am very careful to make sure that I never overdo it because I want to keep doing it.
Right. So you've been speaking a lot about spirits professionals and how this is the gold standard for them.
Mhm.
We have a lot of enthusiasts that take the WSET classes. How would this class be useful, beneficial, enjoyable for an enthusiast as well?
You know what? The best thing about spirits is that you get to learn more. We have to drink, and same thing with the wine. Like you can't learn without consuming. You can. It's harder. I'm sure people do it out there, but I don't know if they have as much fun as we do. The joy of wine and spirits is sharing it, and I think that once you've taken a WSET class, it gives you the ability to parse through the many thousands of options that exist in the market, and you kind of learn what is interesting about spirits and maybe how to assess it on your own without the dependence of, like, a person that is a clerk at Total Wine.
Right.
And listen, they are very helpful, but they also have sales goals, which I completely understand. And it is nice because a class like WSET gives you a little more independence for saying, like, like you've heard the phrase, maybe you should do your own research, which is a dumb thing for most people because most people aren't scientists. But the great thing about WSET is that it actually shows you how to do your own research. I know how to assess the quality of a spirit or
Yeah.
what they're going for or what these words on the bottle mean, which is WSET is very good at.
That's great.
Thanks.
So you've taught quite a few classes for us, level 1, level 2. Because you're a busy man and have other job
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
and do quite a bit of traveling, we teach level 1 twice a year and level 2 twice a year. So I would invite folks to hop on. If you see one posted, we have one coming up in January on a Sunday. It's a Sunday, January 19th. We have an all-day level 1 at the Sazerac house. So please, if you're interested, I wouldn't sleep on it because it'll be the summer until we roll around with our next level 1. Can you maybe talk about one of, I know you like teaching and teaching spirits. What's been sort of a really gratifying thing for you to see in your spirits class, especially like a level 1, some aha moments that people have?
My favorite thing to do in spirits is I like to make things as simple as possible. I think that making things overcomplicated is a form of gatekeeping
Right.
or bragging. And I need most people to settle down. Like when I go to like when you get to level 3 spirits, you learn the why of spirits. So for instance, there's this really funny aroma that comes from Jack Daniel's whiskey because it's made with a particular kind of yeast that makes a banana smell.
Right.
It's like tropical. And in level 3, you'll learn that that's called isoamyl acetate. But if you throw out the phrase, "Oh, this smells like isoamyl acetate," people will look at you like you're insane, and they should.
Yeah.
So I really value keeping things as easy and simple as possible. And to do that, I use a lot of metaphors. And I think that a joy of being an educator is finding the perfect metaphor at the right time to make something an aha moment for people. So when I was taking level 3 with Rob, who is a brilliant educator for WSET, he used a metaphor that I still use, which is a barrel of whiskey is like a bag of tea. It has a finite amount of flavor that it can give a liquid.
Right.
You can use it one time, and the first time you use a bag of tea, it's going to be the most rich and flavorful, and it's going to give maximum aroma and flavor to whatever you put in it. And that's what a whiskey barrel does for bourbon. But we can only use those once, so we ship them to Scotland. But you can still get some flavor out of a whiskey barrel that's been used. But at some point, you would use that bag of tea so much that it is devoid of any flavor. But that does not mean it can't add things to a spirit or liquid. So that was an aha moment that I still use today. And I love using simple metaphors like a whiskey barrel is like a bag of tea, or the aging process is like a hot air balloon inside a hot warehouse.
It's great.
It's very fun. And then when you explain it, I think I had a whole one of my favorite moments from our level 2 class we did a few months ago was I taught high school, so it was my job to make the information as engaging as possible, because when students are forced to be there by the government at 8 in the morning, they do not want to learn. And I did not want to learn when I was in high school. It's 8 in the morning. So it was incumbent upon me to make the information as fun and interesting as possible. So I made a whole PowerPoint slide and presentation for level 2 about how distillation can be broken down into different kinds of cats.
Cats?
Cats, yeah. So you know what, I would need a PowerPoint, but I want you to know that I have a good time and it will be fun. And I will, if you take level 2 with me, I'll explain to you how distillation is like a bunch of different like cats. But yeah, the aha moments that I really enjoy are the ones where you can give them a metaphor that is so simple that they can take it to a friend or a guest at their bar and also see an aha moment themselves. So I think that information is only valuable if it can be shared with people.
Right. And we have had past level 1, level 2 students take your class that have written you rave reviews, wonderful testimonials. And then they asked me when level 3 is coming. And I'm like, well, that's a whole other different thing. So you have passed level 3, or you wouldn't be able to teach level 1 and level 2. In order to get you certified to teach level 3, I believe we need to send you back.
You got to send me back.
I got to send you back.
You got to throw me back in.
Yeah,
Rob actually, for WSET, he actually has so I've taken the level 1 and 2 educator course, which was like a week-long class where I spent like the week with all the WSET educators and we learned how to teach the material and talk about it. They have a level 3, I think Rob calls it a top-up.
Yeah.
Where I will learn how to teach the information in the level 3 textbook. The level 3 textbook is the best book on spirits I've ever read, but it is so incredibly dense because it is so incredibly concise. And concision takes a heroic amount of effort. If anyone's ever read like a college textbook, I think there was a book called Gender Trouble by Judith Butler, where it is like, it's supposed to be like the most important book about sex and gender ever written, but she is such a brilliant person that every sentence would take you like a day to digest because she's just so smart. And that's what the WSET book is like. The level 3 book is like, is that I had to study that book for about 5 or 6 months before I even took the level 3 spirits. And even then I still needed to take a day or 2 class to get caught up. So long story short, when I'm ready to go be punished a little bit more, topped up, and learn how to teach level 3. We will definitely do level 3 here because I think it's a really incredible class. To give everyone a taste of what level 3 is like, if I can. Level 3 spirits is like being in a classroom with a precocious 5-year-old, because they'll ask you, well, what's alcohol? It's like, oh, well, alcohol is what you get when yeast eat sugar. Like, what's a yeast? It's like, oh, yeast are little nanomachines that eat sugar and make booze and bubbles. Yes, but what else do they make? It's like, oh, heat, and what else? Okay, they make certain chemicals, like what? And there's no word that you can use without being asked its meaning, definition, and how it happened. So the cool thing about level 3 is that you become a subject matter expert, because there's no question that you will not be there's almost no question that anyone could ask you that you won't be able to answer, which is very empowering. And I felt very empowered after I took level 3, because I was not afraid of anything or anyone. However, it still takes a heroic amount of study.
It does. Yeah.
I'm sure that, like, anyone that's taken, I think you guys just had a level 3 wine graduation.
We
right?
did. Yeah, I had 16 people sit the exam last week.
And how long did they study for that?
Oh, I mean, the course is 15 sessions.
Yeah.
But you need to get your book well in advance before you even step foot in class to start preparing. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what the spirits class is like.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, I'm sure after you take level 3 wine, there's nothing you're afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah. But then they, like you say, more punishment. And they asked me, when's diploma?
Oh, these people, they're gluttons for punishment. They just can't get enough. My God.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, but learning is fun, and that's what I enjoy about it. I like that. I think the thing I like about wine and spirits is that the learning never ends. There's always something else to know. And honestly, there's something always to forget. So I get to relearn it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is great. Thank you so much for speaking with us on this topic. So we don't have level 3 yet. Whenever Matt is ready.
You know what? I'll take that class by the end of the year, and then we'll work on it.
All right. We'll send him to get topped off. And
I'll get topped
but in
off.
the meantime, 1 and 2. Okay. So level 1 is coming up. And if you're listening to this and it's, some other time of the year or whatnot, just look at our website and you'll see the next upcoming posted level 1 and level 2 dates. So Matt, thanks so much.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for all the work that you do here for the WSET and for your wine shop. Really quick, if the viewers want to find you, where can they find you?
Right. So wineeducate.com is the website for this APP. Yeah. Thanks. You're like helping me do my job better. But
you know what? I love it when I'm teaching like whiskey classes. Like when I was doing this whiskey tasting last week in Wyoming, I dropped the name of a whiskey we were tasting, and I had some guy raise his hand and was like, now, the name Thomas Handy, where does that name come from? And this guy knew, but I had breezed past it so quickly that I needed help.
Yeah.
So I wrote that man a check. Thank you so much.
Great.
But no, it takes a village. So thank you.
Yeah. Lovely. All right. Thanks so much, Matt.
No, thank you.
I do hope you all enjoyed that interview with Matt. He is just such a delight. He is hilarious and a wonderful educator. We are very lucky to have him as our spirits educator for Wine Educate. So as mentioned, the level 1 class and level 2 class are currently offered just twice a year. So if you're interested in these courses, take a peek at the website, wineeducate.com, and see if the next one has been posted. Matt is a busy guy, works full-time for the Sazerac, does a lot of travel. So I try to post them as in advance as possible, so you all can plan. I do have folks that come in from out of town to take the one-day course. It is a lot of fun. And the classes are taught at the Sazerac house, which is a stunning space. I have a lot of envy. I wish I could teach everything there. Never mind. Sign up for this class. It is just a delight. Have a wonderful week.